Alrighty, we are live with another Facebook Live for today. I'm here with my client, John Hernandez. Super pumped to be doing this call with you, man, because I know you've had a really amazing transformation. We obviously still have a month left in the program, but you've had a really great transformation being a wealthy body. So I'm pumped to have you here so we can kind of dive into that.
Yeah, awesome. Great to be here. Thank you.
No problem, man. So let's just start out with a simple question, and that is, who are you? Who are you? What do you do? Where are you from? So we can kind of get a bit of ideas to know who John Hernandez is.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Justin. John Hernandez, I'm a 50 plus individual, have a couple kids, been very athletic, in my youth, but as I gotten older, it really just kind of peeled back from a lot of exercising and sports. I really found, myself getting a little sedentary. But I work in a computer job. Basically, I lead a sales operation for our organization that we sell Medicare insurance. So we're getting into a time of year where we're in the office for 12, 14 hours a day. And then just, ultimately just working extremely hard, which means, I was heading into another season feeling like, boy, I'm going to be eating a lot of pizza and cupcakes and things like that because that's
Yeah,
the easiest thing to grab. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell. Certainly,
awesome.
I want to talk about the journey that we've had together.
I love it. I love it. I know it's crunch time for you, and you're super competitive. So this is perfect kind of timing. So before we get into your results and your transformation, kind of like where you are right now, I want to let's get into, if it's cool with you, get into kind of where you were before you started. So it's been about 5 months now. So I know, like you said, like you're a very competitive person. You play golf. Like where were you before you started the program in terms of your health, and what were kind of the biggest challenges and struggles you were dealing with before we started working together?
Yeah, I appreciate that. I was about 17, 20 pounds heavier, by the time that you and I started talking.
Mm.
And finding myself, basically every day just making the wrong choices in terms of what I was eating, bypassing a walk or so here, really kind of feeling energy wise a little bit lethargic.
Mm.
Sports wise, as you mentioned, I play a lot of golf. And so when you and I talked, one of the things we talked about was just, getting a full round in and somewhere around 13, 14 holes. I'm feeling like I've lost a lot of,
Mm.
energy and getting tired. I was on, was had high blood pressure, had that for a bit. And ultimately just felt like I needed a change and needed to
Yeah.
start exercising more, and creating more energy because of the long hours that typically we work in this industry. And
Right.
then, really just wanted to sort of build some confidence and, everyday approach to life.
Gotcha. And so before you joined, what was like, so you're dealing with those setbacks, low energy, you said you wanted more confidence. What was kind of like, what was your biggest roadblock, would you say, or roadblocks that was kind of stopping you from kind of just making that shift, and what was holding you back?
Well, I think a lot of it started with just, making wrong choices in terms of really trying to create that spark, that energy. So
Yeah.
sugary sodas and a lot of high carbs,
Yeah.
uh, and ultimately just finding the motivation every morning to just
Yeah.
start do something to work out. It just was really hard to get, really hard to do.
Yep.
And then it would just kind of snowball from there. Then you get in the office, and before you know, you're working at a computer. You're not getting a lot of exercise,
Yep.
and sitting down at the desk, hunched over. And then lunchtime comes around, and you're kind of making some bad choices there. So
Yeah.
really, I just kind of felt like at the end of the day, when I went home, I was feeling tired. Um, and I found myself, and I travel a lot too, and I found myself getting sick more.
Mm.
And my immune system felt like it was down a bit. And
Yeah.
those are the things that I felt like I got to make a change.
Yeah. And so how did that, so being sick more, having low energy, being tired, how did that impact? Obviously you're very like growth driven, looking to make more money and a family man. Like how was that kind of impacting your life before we started working together?
I feel like it muddied it. It stalled it, right?
Mm.
Everything that you would your goals you would set or things you would look to do. I always had high energy and enthusiasm to starting something, but
Yeah.
really along the way, in the middle of the grind, which typically you have to work for it.
For
Just
sure.
find myself just slowing down and getting really distracted and muddied by it, and then
Yeah.
ultimately just kind of losing that sense of purpose. So I felt like just at moments when I felt like I've got the energy to tackle something, then I would drain it,
Mhm.
and feel like, that was it, and
Yeah.
didn't push further.
I like that word muddy. That's like I never heard that before. That's a great way to describe it. Like just you're just kind of getting pushed down. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
And so for you, obviously we'll get into your transformation. But so did you have was there like a point or like an event or just like a feeling? Like when did you decide like enough is enough? I need to make a change. Was there like a kind of a pivotal moment for you where just like it's time to get things under control again?
No, yeah, a little bit. I had during COVID, I didn't contract COVID, but I did get valley fever, which is a thing that
Mm,
you can get here in Arizona. And it took me down for well over a month. And it just has COVID-like symptoms. And I remember just going through that and just feeling like I am not at the healthiest that I've been. I'm getting on the wrong side of 50. And at the end of the day,
yeah.
it just feels like I'm just going to get stuck in a rut and never get better and improve. So it felt like it took, a kind of a serious moment, health wise to kind of trigger, like, hey, I'm going to go into, that part of the year where I get more sedentary and it's just going to compound. And I felt like I needed to get out of that rut.
Yeah, for sure, and I think that's it's really it's honestly it's kind of sad because I think a lot of people are kind of in that same boat where it's like it's not really a big deal until it's a big deal. It's like health is health is we all know the importance of it, but it's not really a priority until you get really sick or something really goes into like left field and just like holy shit, like I need to make a change. So I always say, like, if your dream is big enough, you don't need a disaster to make a change. But thankfully for you, things didn't get too serious, and you're able to, come to grips and decide to make this shift. So with that said, let's kind of get into, for you personally, John. Like, obviously, we spoke through Messenger. It was through LinkedIn, right? We met through LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So like what for you, obviously I'm sure you're kind of skeptical and kind of like on the fence when there's some random guy reaching out to you about joining. What were kind of when we got in our call, I'm sure you were a little skeptical. Like what was kind of going through your head? Were you like on the fence about moving forward with anything?
Yeah, you're right. I was skeptical. I'll make no bones about that.
Yeah.
I think it was just the right time. I just felt like I should be open to these kinds of things. And when we talked, I felt like some of the things you talked about, you asked very pointed questions, which
Yep.
I felt that you were looking to customize something for me. So it
Mm,
felt right away like, well, he's just not going to tell me to do something without knowing anything about me and whether I can do this or not, or whether I had the physical capabilities. So I appreciated that. So I felt
yeah.
like, well, this guy's not going to steer me wrong. It's just going to be, do I have the motivation to do it? So I think that first initial kind of what is someone trying to sell me,
Yeah.
um, once that passed and we had a really good conversation
Yeah.
when we met, and got to know a little bit about what the program was all about and how you would support and what I needed to do bring to the table. I felt like, well, I could do all those things, and I
Yeah.
feel like he's got my best interest, so
Yeah.
I'm gung ho for this.
I love it. I love it. And so let's get into your results. What's been obviously we could talk about physical results. I don't want to speak for you at all. I'll let you kind of talk about, but we can talk physical results, mental results, um, you know, you know, medication. Like would have been like your biggest transformative results since you joined the program for you,
Yeah,
John?
yeah. So I know we're on first Facebook Live, but you said I heard you swear, so maybe I might throw a little
Oh
holy.
yeah, you can fucking swear whatever much you want.
Right,
I hold it back for some reason this call, but feel
right.
free to do it.
Um, there's a lot there. There's a lot to share, and a lot that I'm proud of. Right. I think the first thing that you and I talked about that I was excited about is getting off the blood pressure medication. Right. When I first started taking it, there was some side effects, and I'm like, boy, and I'm not really a guy that likes to take medication. I like to live cleanly.
Yeah.
And, that was a big win for me, feeling like I was starting to see the blood pressure come down on a daily basis. Um, the weight obviously, helps, and I'm gaining muscle. So a lot of feeling like I've become a workout guru now. So I work out 4 times a week. I'm
Yeah.
getting a ton of range of motion.
Love it.
You mentioned one of the things the other day is I shot under an 80 and, from,
Woo! Yeah, that's
I was
amazing. That was
excited
awesome.
about that, right?
Yeah.
And that had a lot to do with just, not getting tired, during the round and being
Yeah.
able to feel like I'm still on top of my game and movement felt good, flexibility felt good.
Yeah.
Um, but those are the biggest things I think beyond just the energy. I wake up early in the morning and feel like I'm ready to tackle the day. I got myself, I'm in my office now and I got a stand up desk and I stand
Yeah, I
up.
was gonna say that. That's awesome. You're standing up right now. That's huge.
I stand up most of the day and not tired. So it's just those little things, and that just builds confidence, and you feel good every day when you wake
Yeah.
up and know that the pair of pants that you fit pretty tight, they're not fitting tight anymore. So it's just
Yeah.
those little things that you don't think about when you start the journey. You don't think about how excited they're gonna be to you. We talked a little bit about, well, yeah, it'd be great to lose weight, it'd be great to build confidence, but all those things that lead up to that, the little wins, the
Yeah.
significant moments, that happen there are just, you reflect back and say, boy, I'm glad I started this journey.
I love it. I love it. I know for you, it's like obviously like you said, you're looking to build more confidence, lose weight. I know for you though, you're not looking to look like a giant bodybuilder and just be ripped and just like for you, it's about like correct if I'm wrong, but it's about just feeling good in your own skin, having the energy, having the mobility. For you, golf is big, so having that range of motion, just being able to be functional and move better, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, yeah, yeah. We talked the other day about I still have a little bit of a belly, but I can feel and see the transformation in the muscles in my leg
Yeah.
and the toning that happens in the arms
Yeah.
and around the neck, and I'm not bothered by that there still looks like there's a little bit of weight, because I feel good, right? And I
Yeah.
think that was the most important thing that I didn't realize until I got to this journey. Where this is all about exactly what you said, which was I feel good, I feel confident, I feel like I can tackle a day. My mood is better throughout the day.
Yeah.
I
I
feel
love
like
it.
I'm making great choices. I travel a lot, kind of slowed down a little bit with COVID, but even when traveling, I feel more intelligent around making the right
Mhm.
choices. And even if I, occasionally do feel like I'm, eating more carbs or adding a little bit of sugar, I don't feel bad because it's easy for me to get back on
Yeah,
the.
to dial back in. Yeah. I love it. That's the what we always talk about. It's like 80-20, right? Our bodies are not meant to, put shit in them all the time, but it's okay. As long as you're putting the majority of the time, putting good quality fuel in your body, it's okay to every now and then, eat the foods you love.
Mhm.
It makes it sustainable. So I want to ask you, John, two more questions and we'll get this wrapped up. So like for you, what is there anything in particular? Because obviously, most people try this journey on their own. For you, was there anything in particular that made a wealthy body a little bit different, or what was like for you the most valuable part about this process you've gone through so far?
Yeah, yeah, I think there's a couple of things that to me that I really gravitated towards. One is I do love the app, the
Yeah,
Trainwreck app, right? I think
cool.
that is such a cool thing, and I like
I
that kind of stuff, right? Where it's always sending me alerts, it's tracking, and I have an Apple Watch, so everything then is it just moves back and forth. The data moves back and forth so easy to
yeah,
do. Where and I saw that piece was really keen for me because if I start tracking things, and sometimes you get off track
right,
with that, but it makes it so much easier. I think that was the one thing that I thought was so unique, that I enjoyed because it just really fit what I was looking for,
love
right?
it.
I would say the conversations we had. So when we have conversations, they were really tailored towards what is going on with you, right?
Mhm.
And when I mentioned, hey, I got to travel in a couple weeks, and I and how do I work out? How do I continue to do this? What kind of things do I eat? The resources were there, let alone you directed me to it, but even the conversation that we would
Yeah,
have just to talk it through and say, okay, well, what do you normally do? And,
right,
you think about doing this. I think that's valuable. I've been to work out in with, personal trainers, and it's all focused only on toning body and things like that.
right.
This is, for me, it felt like everything, right? The
Yeah,
emotional side, physical side, and just the motivation, plus the ability to make things easier to try to measure and track progress.
Love it. Yeah, that's the biggest thing, because I was doing in-person training. That was kind of the big caveat that I found, was like I would work with clients in a gym or train them, and then the minute they walked through the door, it's just like all hell broke loose. It's just back to normal ways. So that's what I think is so important, is having that. I think everybody, the top most successful people in the world, athletes, entrepreneurs, we all have coaches, and sometimes it's hard to. We all know what to do, right? The information's there, but sometimes you just need that guidance and that tailorizing, or if that's a word, that customization for what you want, and then also just having someone who can kind of call you out, or kind of give you the extra push and just kind of lead you in the right direction. I think it's really huge. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely would agree.
Yeah, awesome. And so, last question for you. I like to ask this questions because I know there's always, I can't see if anyone's watching this right now, but I always think about the person that's watching this video, and maybe who's in your position, John. At one point, you're on the fence, and they know the importance of their health. Maybe they've tried in the past and they failed, or maybe they haven't even tried at all and they haven't even started their journey. I would love to ask you, John, like someone's watching this right now, and again, they know they need to make the change. They want to make the change. They know the value of it, how it's going to impact their life, but they haven't done it yet. What kind of advice do you have for them in that regard?
I would say don't wait, don't sabotage yourself, right? Ask questions, right? So, I'm probably the poster child for trying everything, every diet fad, buying equipment and, working out, and then it sits there in the garage for a bit. So, I think if anything there's so many reasons to just back yourself off when you think you need to go there. And I think it is just be brave and be bold and just go do it. But when you get engaged, with somebody, and if you get, have a conversation with you, be open, and be honest, right? I think that's the biggest thing that you and I talked about, which was don't sign up for something you're not going to do, or you're going to, eventually feel like you're going to sabotage, because it's just going to be one more thing you did, right? And it's not going to be successful. So I would say being that guy that just kind of says, okay, every January 1st, I'm going to try something. I'm going to try a diet. I'm going to go to the gym, or I'm going to do these things. I think you just have to start with being honest with yourself, being open. And then once you get there, don't be afraid then to plunge in every day, because once that the thing that I discovered that helped me out a lot, which was once you start to just even feel the littlest thing, your body craves it, right? And you want to do more, right? Just like if you were just eating sugary stuff, for months and years, you're used to it, your body craves more. Well, I'm finding out that my body's craving things like working out and more vegetables and water versus having a soda. So you'll find that transformation once you get there. It comes and then it sticks and stays. But the journey has to start with you, taking that first step and being really open about who you are and how you can do this. Otherwise, you're not going to get through those obstacles when they come up.
I love it. Those are wise words. And I think that the biggest thing that you just said that really resonated is like, being honest. Because a lot of people I think they're not honest with it. They say that they're putting the work in, or they're just saying that like they're fine with where they're at. And I think, I've talked to so many men at this point that it's just like, being honest with yourself and saying like, am I going to do this? Am I not going to do this? Am I actually where I want to be, or am I not? Like being truthful with yourself. And I think that's amazing advice. I love it. And using that to make the decision of like, what should I actually do to achieve the goal I want?
Yeah.
Awesome, John. I really appreciate you coming on here, man. I know we got a month left, so we'll stay on this call after this call, because I want to see if there's anything I can support you with. But I appreciate you coming on here and just talking about your transformation. I think it's gonna help a lot of people.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Awesome. No problem. All right.